Deep breaths. We are going to try to get through this without laughing, but you guys know us, so we have actually some really good information to share. So sorry about last night, but somebody had like something to do that was more important than us.
Sorry.
So we're going to film this for you. And these are the things that I wanted to talk about. And then I'm going to just kind of lead with it. And then Sibylla's going to come up because she has some things that she wants to say. So hopefully you attended a Super Saturday this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
I did. Honestly, I didn't.
I did. And we had, what's her name? Autumn Calabrese from the 21 Day Fix. And it was awesome. And one thing I love about Super Saturdays, it's just in case you don't know, it's a quarterly event that we do. It's all across the nation. There's one near you, so find one. It's just a really good place to reconnect and be around like-minded people. And it's pretty short, which is nice, and it's usually like cheap. So it's always a good event to try to get to.
Yeah. Here's what I would have, if I would have not been at Cancun, I would have made sure that I went to Super Saturday.
Yeah, we who weren't in Cancun don't like your story. So.
That's just one of the things because we just came home from Cancun and there was no local ones. So I was like, yeah, I had to drive at least 5 to 7 hours to get one. So.
Okay, so Super Saturdays are awesome. You should check. The next one is July 25th. So definitely try to get to one in your area. If you can get to a bigger one, like we have in Indy, they have big ones in Toledo. Sometimes we get celebrity trainers and things like that. So it's really awesome. But here are some things that I learned, and I wanted to share this with you guys. And I'm trying to get the Super Saturday video to upload for you. But for now, you're just going to have to like bear with us in our learnings, or my learnings, because she was taking a nap. So one of the things that I learned from a 15-star diamond coach is she talked about how to have a really successful challenge group. And I think one of the things that we all struggle with is having people engaged and having people like just continue through the group.
Yes.
Like it's one thing to promote it and get people in, but it's another thing to keep them going. Mm-hmm. So here are some great ideas. So grab a pen and paper.
And write it down.
That's what you do with a pen and paper. It's gonna be a long weekend at the Diamond Retreat. So anyway, here's some things that I thought were amazing ideas. And a challenge group, if you're new and you're not really sure, it's something that you run for a specific period of time. It can be, we're doing an on-demand one together right now for 30 days. You can do a 21-day fix group. Any program, you can do a 3-day refresh group, which is really short, and that's usually something people can commit to, 3 days. So you have your options. But here are some ideas to do for a challenge group, and I think these are just fabulous. I think it was Alyssa Shoemaker, 15-star diamond coach. She said this. So she makes everyone fill out an application. And I am going to find, I actually have one of these, and I'm going to share with you. I can't tell you off the top of my head, so I've got to find out how you do it. But you get an application that people fill out. And it's not like Facebook messaging back and forth. It's an application that has all these questions that tells you about them. Questions like, have you done an at-home workout program before? Why hasn't it worked? Why have you never tried one? What are your struggles? What are your eating habits? All of these questions. So before you ever speak to the person, you know what their weaknesses are. You have an insight into what they're going through.
I love that because I think you'll be a lot more successful with that than messaging back and forth and lose their messages.
Right.
If you're messaging a lot of people, you have to really keep track of everything.
And you look super professional.
Yeah.
Right? You have an application, like you look like you're in like Flint. So I'm going to share with you and later on how to exactly create the application. It's very easy. I've done it myself. So you require that the people fill out the application, and then you get on a 15-minute phone call with them to review their application. So instead of these Facebook messaging back and forth, you get on the phone with them, and she signs up the people for a challenge pack right then and there. And this is something Sibylla does that she says works fantastic. Yeah. You get on the phone, you walk them through it.
Yeah. Every time I get on the phone with someone who has not been a coach or who has not bought a challenge pack, by the end of our conversation, they're ready to sign up.
Yep.
Every time. It works, but it's just taking that time to do it.
Exactly. So it's a little different because people can kind of hide behind Facebook messages and they can ignore it or close it out and not respond to it. And this is a totally different approach. It's much more personable. So I thought that was actually one of the most powerful things that I learned. So just to recap, you have an application that people fill out. once they show interest. So say they message you and they're like, hey, I saw your post about your 21-day fix group. I'm interested. Great. Go fill out this application so I can know a little bit more about you. Let me know when you're done. Okay, Chloe, I'm done. Okay, great. Let's set up a 15-minute phone call. We're going to go over this together. Okay, great. 15-minute phone call. We review all of it. We go through it. I'm like, okay, here's what you do. I'm going to direct you to the 21-day fix challenge. Pull up your internet browser. Let's get this done right now. Boom. Totally different approach than what most of us are doing in terms of growing our challenge pack sales and our challenge groups. Yeah. So once you take this approach and you've got all of your beautiful, wonderful people signed up, then she gave some really great ideas on what to do once you're in the challenge groups. And I thought this was great. She said, first and foremost, Shakeology is non-negotiable for her. People are not allowed in her challenge groups unless they buy Shakeology in a challenge pack.
I love that. I really do.
And sometimes we're afraid because we don't want to lose customers. So we're like, oh, sure, if you just buy the workouts, you can get in. She said, no. She said, that's the basis. That's the foundation. They have to try it. Her time is free for them, but it's also valuable. So this shows that they're making an investment in their future.
And I think people ultimately respect you, and they'll respect you more, and they'll push harder when they have to spend money on it, and they will put the effort in.
Yes,
I agree. If you make it just non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable.
If you're like, nah, you don't, you can be part of my group, but you don't have to buy all this stuff. Then what are they going off of? They have no meal plan to follow. If they're just working out let's say it's somebody's working out at a gym, right? Well, you know how gym memberships come. They don't come with meal plans. They don't come with like actual workouts that are effective.
Well, if you go to Planet Fitness, they give you pizza.
Are you serious?
They do for free. Oh so there's a meal plan. Treadmill, pizza. I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Sorry.
But anyway, like there's no workout put together that effectively works their whole body. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win. You just have to explain that to a gym person who goes to the gym and tries to work out on a treadmill for 2 hours, an hour and a half, and sees no results.
I don't know. If you're on the treadmill for 2 hours, you're probably pretty thin. Just kidding.
No.
So
that's a little bit saturated.
No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, so Shakeology is a non-negotiable. It's just it has to be a part of what you're doing. And then there were these great ideas that we're gonna try in our group, and it's really fun. A wall sit challenge. How simple is that? So you have people in your group post pictures of them and their time and how long they're able to hold a wall squat. Right? Or wall sit.
Wall sit, like you sit on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's seriously like.
And you chill there.
I do them at my, sometimes I do them at the class
I teach. Show
the class I teach, and holy crap, it hurts within a couple of minutes. Like you just sit down, you sit here, and within a minute, your whole size.
Would you like your wine? Oh my God, we're getting fired. Oh wait, we can't.
And your abs, like everything, like especially in here. And when my legs are already sore, but it hurts already. Like, seriously, that's just like 2 seconds.
Do you think we've lost everyone? You think they're done?
Probably. They're like, forget it.
Whatever. No, so you would have people like take a picture of them doing their wall squat, and then they would compete for their time. And it's kind of like the honor system, like, Scouts honor. So I thought that was great. So simple, something like not revolutionary. And sometimes I think we do overthink the business when we should be like, oh, wall sit challenge. Like that's simple. Another thing that she does for challenges for her groups is plank in weird places. So you could plank at the McDonald's that you're not supposed to be at.
Or plank at a grocery store.
At a grocery store. On the highway. Gas station.
Everybody's
pumping gas. Oh my God. You see, like there's these really fun things that you can do. So that's what I have for the challenge groups. And I just thought that was brilliant. Start them out professionally, setting them up for success. Shakeology is non-negotiable. Then you win, they win. I always recommend somebody try Shakeology for at least 3 months. I tell them that at least 3 months that they need to do it, because then that's when you really start to get in the habit and the groove and to feel the differences. People who buy it for 1 month and then cancel, they tend to be the people who don't stay in the challenge groups. They tend to be people who fall off when they're not on home direct. So I thought that was great. So it's just a really good way. If you need help running your challenge groups, let us know. If you want to be in our challenge groups, we also open them up to our teams so that you can put your people in. And so we're going to revamp just with those ideas and things that we had heard, and we're going to kind of spice up the challenge groups we've been doing and make them a little better.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. So it's not just us talking to each other
Yeah.
anymore, right?
Yeah, definitely. And the one thing I was gonna, I was told my team that I would let them know when I would do my 3-day sneak peek.
Mm.
And this is for everyone. If you guys wanna, like, if your team wants to join,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to let them.
Okay.
I'll be doing a sneak peek group starting May 11th. And it's only for 3 days. Well, ultimately it's gonna be 4 days because it's a welcome and then the 3 days. I'm doing videos of my own, and I'm gonna make them just really quick. This is go off by what Chanel Summers posted.
Right.
And
So say, because we've been doing 5 days.
Yes.
So say why we're doing 3.
I think 3 days, the people will be a lot more engaged in the 3 days, and it will be not. I think 5 days ultimately are a little bit too much for people.
Okay.
Because I honestly have not successfully run a 5-day group yet. What I mean successfully, like end of the 5 days that they're ready to sign up. I have not. I know you have. You have had success with it.
Well, that's because I'm me.
Yeah, but people love you.
It's true.
But I also have not. Like the last time I ran a 5-day successful group,
I think you can get all the information in 3.
Yes, definitely.
And people have a short attention span.
Yes.
And by Friday, like
people don't want to go on Fridays. It's Friday.
They're all having cocktails.
Yes. So I think free is the good thing. Monday through Wednesday.
All right. May 11th?
Yes, May 11th.
We're going to do a joint.
Yeah.
And by joint, I mean you're going to run it and I'm going to watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we're all going to sit back and let her do the work.
Totally.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're doing a 3-day
sneak peek.
And you guys don't have to do anything except say I'm in and we'll plop you in the group.
Yes, and have people. Invite your people.
Just
invite
put
your
people
friends.
in. But don't do like what the mascara people do and like do it without their permission.
No.
Like
No,
have personal invites.
Here's what I did the last time. And here's a little bit different, something a little bit different than I did last time. I asked them, like when they comment underneath my post, I asked them, why do you want to be part of it? Why do you want to, I asked them the reason why. And then there's 2 that dropped out because they didn't want to, the business part. They thought it's completely something different. I'm like, well, this is not for you, so I'm not going to add you to the group.
Oh.
So I asked them why.
You're not even allowed in.
Yeah, because I was like, my groups weren't being successful, so I thought if I asked their reason why they want to be in, why they want to become a fitness coach, why they want to help other people, if I ask them why, then end of the 5 days, I can go back on their why and say, here's what you told me. Well, that hasn't been success. Just being honest, it hasn't been success for me. But I think if I keep doing that, you will find those people that don't want to be in a part of the group because they thought it's something completely different. Does that make sense?
I think to your point too, one thing that has been successful for me is, do you see? Show them your water. This is out of control. She also has a gallon jug in her car.
I told you I drink lots of water.
So one thing that has been really successful for me is when I ask people, everyone is different. So everyone wants something different from it. So I do ask the why. And then instead of just plopping them in the group and like letting it happen, I'll message them each day according to their why. So if I know somebody wants to be a discount coach, I'll message them specifically and talk to them about, okay, this is how this applies. If I know somebody wants to quit their full-time job to be a stay-at-home mom, I'll explain to them how that day applies to them. So it's another step beyond.
That's a good idea. I have not done that.
So and that is when I've been most successful. So when we say to you, put people in these groups, please do. But then please don't they don't know me. They don't know her. Like they're not going to connect with us necessarily. So they are in the group because they connected with you. So definitely make sure that you have your one-on-one messages with them and say, hey, what did you think about, Chloe, what she said today? Was she, full of crap? And then they could be like, yeah, she was. And you'd be like, I know. I don't know why we're in this group. Seriously, we're going to get fired. Pull it together. No, so definitely make sure that when you do plop people into our groups that you're doing one-on-one stuff with them because they don't know us from Adam and they don't care.
We can answer questions, definitely.
Of course, we will.
and we will help them explain it better.
Right.
We'll help to explain it, but you have that relationship with them, so you need to be connecting with them on one-on-one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I would highly recommend, once you've done a couple, like watched us do it, make one of your own. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing that I want to tell you guys, and if you follow me on Facebook, you might have seen me touch on this lightly, but this was something that really moved me. I was telling Savilla, I've been a coach for 5 years, and I definitely have times of burnout. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, I definitely do. And so this was a story that like had me bawling, like, it was like gross cry, like tears, mascara, like all over the place.
Well,
what?
Nothing. Go ahead. It's a story, definitely touching story. Like, seriously.
Well, what? Okay.
I was gonna say, well, it's a touching story. Then my bangs went out of whack.
Well, your bangs are crying because the story's so sad.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it was so we're sitting there at Super Saturday and this story comes on. And that's one really thing I love about Super Saturday is beyond all the corporate kind of mumbo jumbo and the announcements is they share these stories of real people. And so there's this woman, and I don't want to tell her story, so I'm going to keep it brief. But basically, her and her husband lost everything. And the saddest part was they lost their home. The sheriff came and kicked them out of their home in foreclosure. And the saddest thing was this picture of them in the car with their kids, with everything left that they owned. Like they literally like had a car full of stuff and that was it. And so they were homeless. Like actually 100% homeless. So they found like one of those like $100 a week, like, those motels. I've actually lived in one before, but that's another story.
Really?
Where it's like, it's just a bed. And she said it was like 500 square feet, right?
Wow.
And there's 4 of them. And it's this tiny little thing that they were renting or living in. And her husband has multiple sclerosis. So he's in a wheelchair because it's so severe. And obviously one of the most depressing, devastating things that you can go through. And he found P90X and Insanity at a garage sale. And he's in a wheelchair, you guys. And he started doing P90X in his wheelchair.
Wow.
And she admitted she was at a time in her life where she just wanted to be bitter. She wanted to be angry. So she didn't want any part of this P90X or whatever. But she watched him. And she said, one thing that Autumn said too is you can never force somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have to be ready. And so she, was not about it, but she started to see this change in him. And she wanted that change for herself eventually. And so long story short, and I don't want to mistell her story, but long story short, she's now a super successful coach financially, rank-wise. I think she was 6-star. But I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong if you know. But they're traveling to the events. They were in Cancun. They were on the cruise. They're no longer homeless, and they have this great life. And I was crying because I myself, obviously the story's moving, but I myself have made so many excuses over the last 5 years, and I continue to do so. I'm just being honest. Like, oh, this is going on in my life right now. And I hear it all the time. I love you guys, but I do. Like, it's like, oh, this has happened. Oh, my car broke down, so I can't be a coach. Or, oh, my kid threw a tantrum today, so I couldn't invite anyone. Like, and I do it too. So I'm calling everyone out here. And I thought, man, these people were homeless. He's in a wheelchair doing P90X, homeless. And they built a business.
Well, can you imagine the kids? Like, telling the kids they're homeless? I can never.
She said she told them they were going on an adventure. Yeah. I mean, you guys, like, what are we even complaining about?
Yes.
And that was my big eye-opening moment. Like, how am I even justifying a single excuse that comes out of my mouth in terms of this business?
I know, if you need motivation, just go. There's a video out that a guy that's doing Insanity of, like, he cannot walk.
It's crazy.
I
can't do Insanity and I can walk.
Like, he could not walk. He was in a wheelchair. And this video has gone viral, but I watched it like 2 or 3 times. It's so moving.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. Because it's not like...
Your bangs cried, though.
Yeah. Because it was moving, but it was not... It was moving to see what excuses I put on myself. But it wasn't like heart-touching because I don't relate to his story.
Right.
But I was like... And I make excuses of reasons I can't do this. And he couldn't walk and he was doing Insanity. Now he can walk because he did Insanity. It's crazy.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So if you need to go Google I don't know how to Google it. Like honestly, I don't know what.
She doesn't know what left at a stoplight means either.
I don't know what the video is called, but just Google insanity stories. Seriously, on YouTube.
But there's so many. There's so many stories.
Yeah, there's so many.
And that's what's important about getting to a Super Saturday is you get to hear these stories and then you get to kind of re-energized and reinvigorated. So.
And they're live. Most stories are live. Like people are actually sharing the stories there.
No, it's recorded.
Well, the ones I were. What Super Saturdays I was at,
they're supposed to be playing. Well, they have live. We have live ones, but they're supposed to play the recorded ones too. This was a recorded one that corporate put together.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be live testimonials. We did. We had a guy who lost like 200 pounds or something.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then, but this was the one that really stuck with me because I thought.
Then it's in their back office.
Well, and here's the thing: is financial reasons are so often a reason why people stop being a coach or don't become a coach. And that blew me away because they had every financial, real, not like, oh, I can't afford my Starbucks if I buy this. Like legitimate, like she said there was times when their power was just completely out before they got evicted. They had no power. They had nothing, no utilities before they were kicked out of their home. I mean, I just got chills, but like legitimate financial reasons. So it's kind of a slap in the face to all of us who have ever been like, I can't afford my shakes this month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are extenuating circumstances, and we all have tough times.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we kind of have to just pull it together and start being honest with ourselves.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share a little bit about Amber Blanche. Showed a video or a picture of what success love can do for you. So I wanted to just simply say what's on this little. It's not very clear. That's the problem. It says, curious about Success Club impacts your business and that of your coaches. Are you thinking it is all about the trips and the prices? Well, think again. Success Club starters. Coaches who make it to month 3 of Success Club earn 77% more income than the coach who made it to month 1. And what Success Club starters are, there's new coaches who sign up and they make Success Club in 3 months. They win a ticket to Summit. And they get a call as Carl Neidler. What else do they get?
I think that's it.
Okay. They have to make Success Club 5 in those 3 months. Coaches who make into Success Club Starter Program earn 106% more than those who don't.
Hold on. Oh, I want to say this. Hold on. Coaches who make it into the Success Starter Program earn 106% more than those who don't. Okay. So we're not at Cancun. Like there's more than this.
Yeah.
Well, some of us didn't go to Cancun because there was a wait list problem.
So Success Club All Stars.
Which is 12 months.
Yeah, 12 months in Success Club. So Success Club 10 All Stars earn 60% more money than Success Club 5 All Stars. But if you make 5, if you make Success Club 5, you're doing really good. Especially to start off.
Well, I'm missing out on 60% because I'm only a Success Club 5 All Star. Are you 10?
I've been 10 since, over 14 months.
Okay, you know what I told her at dinner tonight? You know those friends that are naturally skinny? And they're like, oh, no matter how much I eat, I can't gain weight. And you want to punch them in the face? That's how I feel about her in Success Club. I'm like, you are that skinny friend who says they can't gain weight. Like, nobody cares.
And then Success Club All Stars, All Stars earn 10 times more money. Than
5 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just for 5.
Oh.
Earn 10 times more money than coaches who don't or occasionally achieve Success Club.
Okay, so we have Success Club 10 All-Star, and she can go off with the skinny people who can eat all they want. And I will tell you, like, Success Club 5 All-Star, a little more reachable, and I still earn 10 times more.
Yes, than the original coaches.
Than the people who don't hit it on a regular basis. So that's more attainable.
Yes.
We should all reach for this. A little more attainable. Okay.
Success Club All-Star bands 35% more.
In rank.
35% often. Okay, I need to start over. Success Club All-Star ranked advanced 35% more often than coaches who do not or occasionally hit Success Club.
So we have a 35% chance
Of
more of hitting another rank.
Yes.
So I'm going to be 3-star and you're going to be, what's your next rank?
2-star.
Yeah, so we're going to hit it because
Mhm.
we got 35% more chance.
Yes.
Okay.
Simply put, hitting Success Club is all about helping just 3 to 10 people each month. If you seriously, if you look at it that way, that's honestly, I don't count points anymore. And to be honest, I did it first. It was all about the points.
Skinny person who can eat all they want. Just kidding. Come on, I'm so sorry.
If I would be, I would not be skinny, and I'm not skinny by far. But
You're beautiful.
Thank you. But what I started to look at is, okay, people. This is how many people I need to hit. This is how many people I need to help.
She's punching people. That's how she gets it. She's abusing them to purchase. No, but you do. You think of it in terms of it's not points, it's people.
Yeah.
So you're like, I need to help a minimum of 3 people this month.
Or my goal is a minimum of 5.
Well, that's how you get 10.
Yeah. So my goal is minimum of 5. So basically, that would be like 1 a week. Well, 1.5 a week.
Half?
Like,
is it the top half or the bottom?
It's seriously like 1 a week, except for 1 week I would have to put 2. And it's not that easy. I mean, it's easy for me because I've been hitting it for so long. But for someone who hasn't,
I gotta take a break.
For someone who hasn't been hitting Success Club, I would say make it as a goal for Success Club 5. That's where I started. I started Success Club 5. Honestly, it was the hardest thing for me for 4 or 5 months to hit Success Club 5. And it was all my fault. It was all how I approached it. It was all how I worked it. I waited until flipping last week to do anything about it. And then I was crunched for time. Even though I made it every month, but I was still like, I tried to do, there's many months where I struggled. But until I realized, okay, I need to be consistent every month in talking to people, certain amount of people per day, per week. That's when I started hitting Success Club 10.
So let me ask you, and then we'll close with this, because I think we're all dying to know. Where do you find your minimum of 5 people a month?
Well, I
go to sleep and I wake up and they're there, like a skinny person who eats cheeseburgers. I'm done. Sorry. Where do you find them?
Well, I feel like, okay, so let's say last month.
Okay.
Talking about last month. So
how many did you have last month? How many points?
I have 13 points as of now.
No, last month. How many points did you have? 20? 17?
17, I believe.
17. So how many people is that? We didn't graduate with math degrees.
No, I did not. So I'm not a numbers person.
Is it 2 people?
It's not 2 people. Okay, so 5 people is 10.
Right.
So another 3 people is 12.
So obviously you don't really think of people in terms of people because you don't even know.
Well, I wrote everything down in my planner. Who helped? So I'm
bad with math too. I got nothing.
So, okay, 5, 10, 12.
8 people would be 16.
Okay, so I helped.
So it must have been like 9 people because one person didn't get the workout, right?
Yeah.
You had like that odd person who was like, I just want you to go correct. And you're like, all right, go to the gym.
So 9 people.
9 people. Okay, so you had 9 new people join you last month.
Yeah.
17 Success Club points. Okay, sorry. Where did you find those 9 people?
They came out of my ad that I did from
Facebook
my
ad.
like page.
All 9?
Yes. Which now this month I did not run an ad. So
and now you're at 13.
I'm curious about my next month's success though. Because I did not reach out to people like
so when you run an ad, and this is, by the way, this is something I ran and I did not have the success with it, but I had okay success. When you run the ad and then the people message you, what do you do?
When a lot of people who message me, what I say, I send them this, and like you can totally private message me and ask me for it. Let me see if I can find it. And I
private message her and ask her. She'll send you exactly what she says.
Yeah.
It's liquid gold, really.
And I send them all to my coaches. And this is basically what even though they ask me the price, they ask me what's involved, I still send this. I ignore that question. What I do is I will send them this, and they have to answer that before I go into details. And you can read that. Just read from here.
How to follow up with people.
Don't put that there, no.
Backspace.
Yeah.
Thanks for wanting to be a part. You don't even have an oven there. 17 successful points in her grammar's off. Okay. Could answer a couple. Oh my god.
Could you answer a couple of my questions?
It doesn't. There's no you. It says could answer a couple questions.
Oh
for
my
me.
gosh! It must have
No, it must have not. So I know how to help you best. Okay. Tell me, why do you want to be a part of it? Okay. What kind of workouts are you doing now? What kind of workouts do you like doing? What are your goals that you want to accomplish in 21 days? And where do you fall off the wagon? And then you have the link.
Okay, let me.
No, that's really good, actually. I'm sorry. I can tease her because we're friends. Let me fix it right now. She's like, I gotta fix it.
I've never.
No, but those are kind of the same questions that were people talking about in the application form.
Yes.
So we could take essentially that and maybe
put in an application form.
You could use that for now, and then if you wanted to like upgrade to the application form, you could.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If the application form just freaks you out and you're like, I need something a little simpler, like if you're a newer coach,
then this would definitely. And then I follow up with after the
you need an
question.
of too. You're missing an of. Thanks for wanting to be part it. Should be
of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know you guys, people probably laugh.
This is why I only have 6, because I'm busy like doing grammar. She's just busy sending, and I'm like, I gotta fix my grammar, so I'm missing the boat. Oh, and one thing Sevilla and Amber Blanches are really good as proof of is like they just like go for it. They don't overthink it. They just have the conversation.
Like we make a bunch of mistakes. I misspell.
Mm-hmm.
That's my middle name is misspelling.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Your middle name?
Well, no, it's not, but. Okay, so the next message I send them, if they answer those questions, next message I send them.
And private message to have the copies of this.
Yes.
And they will be edited and fixed.
So the next message I send them is basically, okay, I say the 21-day fix is a new fitness and nutrition program to help you lose up to 15 pounds in 21 days. Each workout program is approximately 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week. The unique nutrition plan uses specialized portion food storage containers. I can't talk, I'm sorry. That eliminates guesswork from portion control. No weighing, measuring, or counting calories, carbs, or points. If this fits in the tea, you can eat it. And if you'll lose weight, you will lose weight. And then when eaten in the right quantities, there are no foods that are off limits. I will also personally be sharing with you my food list to help you find the foods agree with you and don't agree with you. And this is the group I'm doing next. I'm doing a group because I experienced that some healthy foods don't agree with me. So I'm doing a challenge group about that. So I'm telling people my next challenge group starts May 11th. So I'm telling people
the same day the sneak peek starts. Yeah. Very aggressive.
Yeah. So I'm telling people what foods that I found that hasn't agreed with me, even though they're healthy foods. So I'm sharing them with that, and then I'll be doing a 21-day challenge group alongside you. This is what I send them after.
Okay. So these are things, again, like you're just hearing it, but we'll give you the copies.
And then and most people say, that's awesome, I want to be part of it. And then they say, are you ready to get started? They're like, well, what's the cost? So I have this whole thing I wrote down. For the whole program, you will get the meal plan, workout program, portion control container, shaker cups, 30-day supply of Shake LSU, which will help you lose weight, have more energy, boost your metabolism, me as your coach, for $160. You cannot just message them the price.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do,
if you're like the price. If you're like $160, and then that's just what they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See ya. You have to explain the whole workout program. If you don't, you'll lose them as a customer right then and there. Because if you just put the price there, they won't see the benefit of joining you for the $160. Now, this is just for 21-day fix. Now, if you want to do any other group, you can take this full thing and just tweak it to the program you want it to.
And add correct grammar.
Yeah, and redo my mistakes. And I'm telling you, if you just tell them the price up front, you'll lose them. Most likely you'll lose them. Because that's what.
And then you get on the phone with people and sign up on the phone.
Yeah, and I did that too. Like, I do that a lot. Like, in the month of March, when I had that many successful points, when I signed up 5 coaches, I was flipping.
And if you're on her
busy.
team, you probably know this because she probably did this with you.
I was busy on the phone. Busy on the phone. I had a tight schedule.
I was busy.
I
don't know. You talked to me for like 2 hours a day. So.
I know, whatever. But
I was busy.
But there's just one week where I totally crushed it. Like, I was at the end of the week, I was exhausted because I was like, this is.
Oh my God, it's like a skinny girl eating a cheeseburger.
Yeah, but it was a good thing. It was totally a good thing because all of this happened. And even though I was exhausted and I just needed a break, it's good to take a break. I usually take Saturdays and Sundays off. Mostly. Sometimes Sundays I'll work a little bit. Saturdays I'll take totally off.
I think you worked at dinner. I don't believe you at all.
When? Tonight? No, I did not.
Okay, so we gotta wrap it up because you guys are like probably tuned out at 11 minutes anyway, so no one's even listening to us, Rainbow.
But just
wrap it up.
Find your people and don't tell them to come. Even though they ask.
So you did a Facebook ad.
Yeah. So don't tell them the price. This is something I learned from Christine Dwyer. She's like, I will ignore the price.
Until you get through.
Until I know the reason why. Because if they see the
Amber
price.
Blanche does that too.
Yeah. Until you see the reason why they're doing this, and they just see the price, they're not going to go for it.
Right.
They're not going to think they're worth investing that time or that money to do it. So. That's all I have.
And I think if you are seriously interested in running a Facebook ad, it's something we're both really good at. Yeah. It's actually how we met.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No. But no, we are. So if you are seriously, genuinely interested in the Facebook ad, then you need to just message like whoever is your coach, one-on-one.
I'm so far away. I'm keeping.
That was for a reason. So just message us and we'll tell you exactly what to do because we'll give you those steps and it's pretty easy. It is. And you don't have to spend a ton of money.
No, you don't.
How much did you spend? Well, okay. How much did you spend a day?
$5.
$5 a day. That's $5 a day. Then there we go. Okay. Cool. Anything else?
That's all
We had them for 37 minutes. Well, we had each other for 37 minutes. We had them for 11. No, they were out with the funny jokes. And then on Tuesday, we are going to have a live webinar again, and we're going to talk about what we learned this weekend.
Yes. I'm excited.
And I'm going to learn that she's a really bad roommate. I'm just kidding. She's going to learn I am.
Why?
Wah, wah. So yeah, we'll fill you in, and if you have any
questions, let us know.
Always. All right. Bye guys. Have a good night.
See ya. Bye.